Welcome to Classy Broadcast with Classy Broad members Jay Crook and Callie Fox. Join us today for episode 9 with Ian Stock's artist name Insomniac, a 22-year-old artist who's been making music for 7 years from a town of 75 people. As we discuss a passion for hip-hop, we hope you enjoy episode 9 of Classy Broadcast. As always, thank you for listening and for giving us a space to voice our thoughts. Welcome to Classy Broadcast, episode 9 now. Holy shit, I can't believe how fucking far we've gone now.
9?
I know.
That's a special episode.
Right? We have Ian Stocks, also known as Insomniac, here with us today. Very excited. So I used to work with him at Arby's, and we met and got to talking music and shit. Very talented artist. Super enjoy talking hip-hop with the guy. We're going to have a great time today. Would you like to say something about yourself, sir?
My name's Ian, also known as Insomniac. I've been making music for about 7 years now. I come from the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of a blessing for me to have all these opportunities now. That's really all about myself, really, that's it.
So, your name, you had to change it, because I remember when I first met you, it was just Ian with an exclamation point, and I almost didn't even believe that was actually what it was, and then you changed it. Why did you change it?
Because I got an email from my distribution, and there's another artist that's popping off right now. His name's Ian, all in lowercase. He's a newer artist. I kind of think he's an industry plant, but I like his music. They told me I couldn't use the name Ian at all because it was too similar to his, and they think it's like a copyright infringement.
That's so crazy, right?
I'm mad on your behalf.
Yeah, that's fucking weird to me because, I feel like people have, I don't know, put in 3 instead of an E or some shit like that, and they're like, oh yeah, totally different artist name.
Yeah.
Who's your distributor?
I use United Masters right now. I was using DistroKid, but another artist I know, Keenola, he uses United Masters, and he really put me onto it. Okay. They let you keep 100% of your profits instead of DistroKid taking.
Very cool. Does it cost more, or what's your startup deal?
Yeah, because I'm looking for a new distribution.
Yeah, he's out distributor shopping.
For a whole year for me, it was only $63 for a whole year.
So here's my beef with the yearly thing with DistroKid, and if you're DistroKid and you're watching, sorry, no, I don't want a sponsorship from you because I don't like your business model. Sorry, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to take money from people I don't like. The thing is they're okay, here's your yearly fee, but then literally every project, if you say die and you're not paying your subscription anymore, that shit's gone unless you pay a legacy on every single project. Yeah. Which for me, I think the legacy fee is as much as it is for me to put shit out on CD Baby, so I'm why the fuck would I do that? I mean, for them, money-wise, smart business model, but...
Is that how it works for yours too?
No, United Masters, the reason I chose them is because you keep 100% of your profits. All of your music gets put up and it stays there no matter if you renew your subscription. They always make sure you can split with other creators however you want. Damn. They don't want a certain amount for you. You get a...
Okay, that's probably why they're so on the name thing, right? Yeah. Is they don't want people getting paid for other people's shit, probably?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna check that out. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out because I was with DistroKid and I was always just so hesitant to put anything out, so I was I just never did because I was I don't know. I just didn't trust it. I didn't
for me I saw the subscription model and I was okay, so what happens if you lapse on your subscription? And immediately it was oh yeah, well if you want it to stay up, you can pay $1 million every single time you release something, single or album or otherwise, and I'm that's some janky shit. Sorry and shit, but yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That's sick as fuck. Hell yeah.
American Masters. I gotta write that down.
He's I'm gonna go shopping right now.
It's definitely worth the money.
Okay.
I did have to pay a legacy fee, though, to keep my other songs up on DistroKid when I switched to United Masters. Cause I didn't want to, especially Tears Fall, because that one didn't have a legacy on it. So I wanted that one to stay.
And that's your most popular song,
that's my most popular song.
Damn.
I had to pay it.
Damn.
I won't have my newer Spotify until I release with United Masters.
Okay.
That's why I was trying to push Saturday out, but again, they're like, because of their business model, they're so cordial with everything they do. So the album artwork I chose, I put Volume 1 in the corner, and they told me that a couple things needed to be changed before I needed to release, and one of them was I had to put Volume 1 in the title.
Oh, all the information. The same thing with CD Baby. Anytime you have, like, they call it metadata. Any metadata that's on the thing has to be, it has to all match.
Oh, I feel so new. Oh, this is terrifying.
You know what's funny is, like, Jesse's actually a super seasoned, crazy good rapper. Like, fucking nuts. On the other side of things, like, he's never really released shit.
I'm an infant.
He's a baby. He's a baby.
That's crazy.
But he's one of those people where it's like, if he could find a business guy to do all that for him, he would take over the industry, I guarantee it.
If you could communicate with an alien species, what would be the first thing you would ask them?
Honestly, I'd probably ask them what music is like for them.
Oh.
That's a good question.
I would honestly ask, like, what they listen to and how it's interpreted. Like, see if they know something we don't, you know?
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, you talk to an alien about music. If an alien's a higher being, they tell you how they make music, how they interpret it. Maybe you could make a whole new wave of music.
Right?
Yeah.
What if they just, like, think and music just happens? Like, that would be so sick, dude. Knowing how much work goes into making music. Like,
that's terrifying. Though, be like, somebody be like singing about some dirty freaking nasty shit.
So you said you came from the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Expand on that a little bit.
So I lived in Baggs, Wyoming my whole life, which is like 2 hours away from here. And there's only like a total of 400 people in the town that I went to school in, which is Baggs. But I lived in a town 7 miles away, which only had like 75 people.
Oh shit, I don't even think you told me that part.
Yeah.
That's wild. Holy shit. That's small. Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did those people know that you make music? Did they know that you make music back then?
Everyone knows everyone there. So it was just kind of like, if anyone's doing anything, people are going to know about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't really start making music till I was 15. And I kind of had making music on the back burner because I was in school. But in school, I was in music. And I would do concerts. I'd perform in front of the whole town. I went to a music festival in Green River, and I got the perfect score for...
Cool.
But obviously you had to choose something out of the book. I chose this random Italian song, and I sang it, and they gave me a perfect score. That was like the highlight of my high school career.
That's so awesome. I didn't know you did the choir.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a choir kid. I did all the audition choirs and shit. It was like my life. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I started making music the way that I do. I sent you a collab that we're working on together, and I did the layers, right, of I basically become my own choir because as an adult, dude, you got two options for choir. You got church. Oh, you got church. Or college, and I'm not interested in either one of those, you know?
Church or college.
So, yeah, this one's for college. What a fucking scam.
Just fucking go to church.
But yeah, so I did not know that. That's fucking, that's cool as shit, dude. We're gonna have to talk about that more sometime.
So is it on the mountain? Where are you from?
Like, it's like...
I was wanting to ask more.
Basically, Medicine Bow Mountain Range is like...
Oh my god, it's so pretty out there.
It's like our backyard. It's only like maybe 15 miles away from where I was living. Okay. So we just go up in the mountain all the time, just mess around.
So like by Lake Marie and shit?
Like,
probably the other side.
So you know where encampment is? Or like
where
Saratoga is? Like, if we go over the mountain from where we are, we get to encampment in Saratoga.
Oh, wild. We talked about moving out there when we went out there, because we were like, it's so cute out here. The people are so cool. I was trying to ask, but I got distracted. I always do. What did the people in your community think when you started making hip-hop music?
So at first, my dad and my mom, they were real hip-hop haters, because my brothers were those kids. They were only a few years apart, and when they were growing up, it was like when Crisscross was really popping.
Oh shit!
They would go to school, like they went to school with their pants backwards. They were like always listening to rap, like Tupac and Biggie and Eminem and all these other rappers, and my parents hated it. So whenever I started listening to rap, they were like, not again. And
it's like in the blood though at that point, you know?
Yeah. And then eventually I got my mom on to rap. Like, she likes rap more than anything now. She thinks
What did you show her that made her like it?
Yeah.
I don't know, because at first, I listened, the very first rapper I ever heard, unironically, was Logic. And it was like in 2011 when he was
That's easy to me.
when he was really spitting. And I showed my mom, and I was like, look, this white guy can rap. And then,
We talk about that a lot.
and then my mom, I started showing her more and more and diving deeper into it. And I think it was when I showed her, Joyner Lucas. That she was like, this really tells a story. Like, rap isn't just like all this gangster stuff.
That's what made me love it.
It's more of like a kind of poetry.
Yes.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Go, Mom. She can see. For those who have eyes, right? Yeah, that's awesome, because that's how I came to love hip-hop. Like, for me, it was atmosphere in her music box and a waitress. And I was like, what? Like, these are cool stories, but I could tell they could be like fabricated stories, you know? And then I found Greaves, and I was like, I didn't know. Because I was a hip-hop hater, too, but all I ever heard was on the radio. And it was like, 50 Cent, don't get me wrong, fucking great artist. He's an amazing artist. Like, as I've grown to love hip-hop, I fucking love the guy. Like, he's on the up and up. He's a fantastic rapper, and he's a great person. But at the time, it was just, In the Club? Is that the song? I don't even listen to it anymore. You know, I'm in love with a stripper and shit like that was on the radio, and I was like, I fucking hate this shit.
T-Pain is a fucking really dope rapper.
He really, yeah.
Have you ever heard his like spit? Like he's really.
Oh yeah. And he's a really talented singer.
Oh my god.
I know.
Oh my god.
He's
the first time he made that album where he like didn't do autotune, I was like, shut the fuck up. Why would you? And then I was like, oh, because it sells. Yeah, it's smart. Yeah.
And it's fun, and he liked to do it. And
that's fair.
It's hard to do.
In all honesty, I think...
I know, yeah.
I think that might have been his plan, because, like, he came out and he was, like, doing all this auto-tune stuff, and usually when people use auto-tune, it's because they're trying to cover something up.
Yeah.
So he finally came out with his real voice, and he used that as, like, shock value to get people drawn
Played
in.
them cards, right.
Dude, we've been talking a lot about tactics that people use in hip-hop. A lady that I work with found out that I'm, like, really into hip-hop, and so she started kind of asking me questions. And she says, so when MGK and Eminem beefed, do you think that it affected his career? And like I kind of started, I was like, okay, like beef affects careers. That's why it's so popular. That's why it's manufactured by the industry, because it sells records. Because people love to choose sides. But then the more I talked, the more I was like, this motherfucker playing that shit. Because I was like, well, he has like really supportive fans, so even if he switched, and I was like, hold up. He's actually a really nice guy if you listen to like his interviews and shit. I don't think he would have come out and said that shit about Haley if he didn't know that was going to be the shit that gets to Eminem. Because that was the big thing with Ja Rule, was like, dude, like, fucking talked about my daughter, bro. We can't stop beefing now. And so I was like, wow, dude, he did that on purpose so that when he switched genres, he'd have all fucking eyes on him, which is so smart, dude.
That was smart.
Yeah, so that's just been something we've been talking about.
Now he's like, I'd say, more famous than he ever has been.
Yeah.
MGK, at least, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. 1000%. Well, and I feel like he gets to, like, kind of do a mix now.
Yeah.
Because people kind of go back and they're like, oh, wow, he's actually a really good rapper, too.
He was newer after all that punk rock stuff. He was doing, like, backyard freestyles. I don't know if you ever saw any of those, but he would, like, bring
the one where he made the beat at the...
Yeah, and then, like, he'd, like, bring other rappers onto these freestyles and just go crazy. And I was, like, honestly, to me, at this point, when he raps, he's at a more highest lyrical standpoint that he's ever been in his entire career, to me.
Oh, yeah.
That one with the bells, the one, dude, he destroyed that.
I used to work with a guy. His name's Gage, and he's fucking loves MGK. Dude, it's been his inspiration his whole life. Like a fucking tattoo of some X thing with him. I don't know exactly what it is. Like, I don't know exactly what it is. Because he's like, you gotta check out MGK. I'm like, okay, like, my thing with MGK is I can tell he's a very talented artist. He's not bad at what he does. He just doesn't hit me in the heart like that.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, that's not to say he's not good. He's just not for me. And so I probably miss out on a lot of dope shit. But I've been really into kind of checking out artists for who they are and what their platforms are, and kind of like just watching their stories and shit, because it's fucking cool to watch people do their thing.
It really is.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about this, is I get to fucking talk to artists like you and learn cool things.
Yeah.
Like, so you say you heard Logic first. What song, like, were you like, oh my god?
Spotlight. It was in 2011. It had this, because at the time I was just a kid. I was like 9 years old. And I was like playing Just Dance on my Wii all the time, right?
Yeah.
And you know the DANCE
I
song?
forgot about Just Dance.
Like the DANCE song. Like, you know that old song?
I don't
think I do.
Yeah, I'm like thinking DNCE, like Cake by the Ocean. I know that's not right.
It had that sampled on it. So when I clicked
okay.
it just said like I was scrolling on YouTube and I just saw Logic Spotlight and the channel was called Rat Pack and I was like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
I was watching like Looney Tunes and stuff on there. And then I open it and I'm just a little 9-year-old kid sitting on my computer and I hear this song and I was like, I know that song. It's in Just Dance.
Oh.
And then this guy just starts like rapping on it and I'm like, what is this? Like, this is so different. Like, I don't know what this is, and I just listened to it over and over. I listened to that song for like a month straight, just listening to that song.
Nice.
It was a really, really good song, really
Blew
good
your
track.
mind.
Yeah, it blew my mind.
That's fucking sick, dude. Hell yeah. Is Logic still, like, is he still, like, in your top 5? Is he your favorite, or?
Yeah, kind of, in a way. I was really kind of disappointed. I understood the route he went with the whole 1-800 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good song. It had a really good meaning, but that whole album, Everybody, was kind of like a different lane for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's why it gets underlooked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as he came back and he was bidding one of his recent albums, College Park, that is a banger album because he's going back in time.
Check that one out.
He's going back in time, talking about his old life. It basically tells a whole story. During the whole album, there's like skits of him and his friends driving to this concert in Virginia, which happened to be his first concert. And in every song, he's just telling the story about how he developed himself over the years, and it's just a masterpiece.
Fuck,
Like,
I'm stoked to check that out,
That's tight.
actually. Because that's been my favorite thing, is a lot of artists now are making songs about, like, journeys as artists, and I love to hear that shit.
Who's like a big influence for you? Yeah?
100%.
Your music's fire as fuck, by the way, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
100%. It's got to be Juice WRLD. That's why I have him tatted. His music helped me a lot. And it was like, first rappers I ever listened to is like Logic, and then I got into Eminem, and then all that basic stuff, Joyner Lucas, and then as soon as I heard this whole SoundCloud wave popping off, like X and Juice, I started following all of them from the beginning. That's what kind of inspired me to make music, because it made me feel like I could do it too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had someone out there making music exactly how I felt. So
Yeah, that's dope, dude. What's it like to be your age and already have dead idols, bro?
it sucks, man.
Yeah, that's
It's-
fucking crazy, because our idols are just now, like, old, you know?
It sucks even worse when you follow them from the beginning, because, shit, I followed X and Juice from the beginning, for sure.
You almost
And,
feel like you know them
Yeah.
at that point, huh?
like,
Yeah,
I've
especially
seen,
when you're in at the bottom floor like that.
I've seen every single part of their career, too, so it's like I saw them develop to the point where they just left. And then
Yeah.
it kind of left an empty hole. That's why I'm so excited for 2 days from now, Juice WRLD's last album comes out, and that's going to be crazy.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about it, because I hear a lot of people talk about, and like, you were probably one of the first people that I heard talk about, like, the vault, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, hey, I have all these songs, but I just haven't released them. For me, I'm like, I'll have songs, but that's usually about an album's worth, and then eventually I'm like, oh, I have about an album's worth. Is it concept? But yes or no, or, like, and I'll save one or two for, like, another album that it doesn't fit with this one. It's such a cool thing that people do. I think they're getting ready to do another Mac Miller one, because he had such a big fault as well.
Balloonerism? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a new album that's coming out?
So Balloonerism is an old album, but half of the songs off, like, it was released for, like, maybe a week, and then it got deleted from the internet.
Oh, shit. I didn't know
Somehow.
that part.
Yeah, like, people have, like, exclusive vinyls that they bought whenever it was coming out, and then he died, and they just erased it, and now they're re-putting it back on.
That's so weird. I wonder why they would do that.
I have no idea, but everyone is waiting for it because it's like one of his best pieces of work.
I feel like Mac Miller's probably one of those too where people kind of watched him from the very beginning and stuff because he kind of like rose pretty fast.
Well, Mac Miller has like, they're like juggalos. His fans are like hardcore.
Really, he posts every day, people being like, God damn it. Like, why is he dead?
A good point that I heard from someone with him is, so I typically just go on like these TikTok lives and I'll limit my music for people to listen to. And there's this artist, his name is Cuevas, and he reacts to music. I sent him my song, and afterwards he was talking about like, it's good to make music for like, what you want to make, but in this, if you want to treat it like a business in this current industry, you have to make what fits the mold, and then eventually once you get there, you can start making your own type of thing, like kind of like a young boy thing or like Mac Miller thing. And he said like if you look at Mac Miller's career, when he first started, he wasn't making like all this like sad, like this is how I feel, this is my life, this is what I do, these are my vices. He was making all this party music because it's what attracted his audience. It's what got people into it, because at the time, like, people were throwing ragers, they needed rager songs, and he just decided to hop into it. And he was a kid having fun anyways, so. And then once he got to the point where he was huge, he was just like, hey, I know this is what you think of me, but this is me. This is who I am. Yeah. This is what I go through.
Well, I think for him to do that, it's kind of actually cool, too, because he's like, woohoo, party, and he's like, hey, like, here's what the other side of the party looks like.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to hear that because, like, that I've been listening to a lot of artists tell their story and kind of give their advice and stuff, and the biggest thing I hear is don't pander to like your music, and so it's kind of interesting to hear that opposing view, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, so Chris Webby treats it like a fucking business, bro. Like he does, but he also is like, I'm gonna say all the fucking but he also says I'm gonna say the fucking controversial shit, dude. He says some shit sometimes that I'm like, why would you say that, dude? And he's like, because I fucking feel that shit. And I'm like, all right, I respect that, but I don't like it. You know? Like, but I fucking love Chris Webby, dude. He's good. Jesse's not as into him anymore, but yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if there's a reason why it works one way or the other for different people, you know?
It just depends, because like he also said, it's also cool to make what you want to make. You can find your fan base. If you try hard enough, there's people out there that like that kind of stuff. But if you really want to be a huge, successful artist, at some point you're going to figure out what you need to conform to before you just conform back to what you want to make. Because at first, when you're treating it like a business, it's going to be like a business. And then, especially being an independent artist, it's going to be like you're treating it like a business. You're on the grind every day. You're making songs every day. You're trying your hardest, writing anytime you can, anytime you have free. And then once you finally get to a point where you've established a fan base, maybe then you can hire people who can handle the management side of it, the business side of it. And then all you got to do is just walk in the studio and make whatever you want, and they'll handle the rest of it.
Right.
So.
Well, and tour and design merch and whatever, but yeah.
Would be dope as hell.
I've actually been thinking about a lot about that lately because, for example, I actually was telling the lady that I work with, I was like, it's hard as a person who truly and deeply loves hip hop to exist in a world that's kind of like, it's pretty anti-hip-hop. You either have those people who are like, oh, you listen to rap, like, or you make rap, and, you know, you can already picture in their head what they're thinking about. And here's the ironic side of that, is most of the other people who are like, oh, yeah, you like rap? I like all this shit that these other people were thinking about. Like, the shit that's on the radio, the shit about selling drugs and fucking strippers and, you know what I mean? Like, very vapid shit, you know what I mean? With no feeling in it.
Yeah.
And, like, it's hard because there's a place for it, but like pop is so it's that realness, you know what I mean? Talk about like fucking the pain of losing people and how you live your life differently now that they're gone, and like, you know, your feelings, you know, and you don't hear a lot of that, especially in radio stuff. She was like, oh, well, I want you to make a song for me, and I like immediately I was like, okay, I've heard this before, you know, like, and she's like, okay, I want you to make a song that's like a crossover between like I Put a Spell on You and I Hope You Die in a Fire. But yeah. And she's like, but on a beat like this, and she says the Timbaland, the Way I Are, Nicki Minaj type shit, just really like super industry beats, you know what I mean? And like, just super not my fucking thing. Like I'm the boom bap hip hop fucking old school type shit kind of person. And I'm like, on one hand,
what would it hurt to like make some shit that's not really like how I feel just for fun?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I'm like, could I really put my heart into it? You know, could I really make it sound good if I don't feel that shit? You know? So I've been thinking a lot about that. And also about the fact that, yeah, like people have their song that gets them out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of they have their other stuff that's how they really feel and the art that they really want to make. What would that be for me? You know what I mean? I'm like, what do you think for you?
As far as what people want to hear, what I want to make,
I think there's a place for like
just
your style of music in industry hardcore right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think that you really have to pander too much. Like, you really are kind of in what I feel like what the younger people are into right now, and of course they're the ones that control the market. Like,
it just really depends, because there will be people like I said, these live music reviews, or even my friends or family or just random people I'll send my music to or I meet. Some people like when I sing, some people like when I rap. Mm-hmm. So like if I absolutely love rapping, but people say I conform more to singing, and I would probably get further if I took more of a route over there. But
almost like Ren, because that's how people be with Ren too.
Well, some of my best singing songs, as far as people like, are more like soft indie type stuff. Mm-hmm. Like more kind of like Billie Eilish, David type songs, like those slow, like romantic heartbreak songs. Mm-hmm. And that's where I've seen the most success, or at least I have more engagement on. But I just kind of make everything.
So I think it's easy to relate to heartbreak because everybody has heartbreak. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a good point I saw from one of my favorite artists, Kid Leroy, is he did the same like conformity thing, but when he dropped his whole Fuck Love album, it was like he told everyone he wasn't going through that. He was just trying to relate to the kids that he knows are, because at the time Juice WRLD was popping off, all these other artists were popping off. He was just jumping in there and throwing his side of everything in it. Yeah. So it wasn't really like true feelings, but now he's making really raw music. Like it's just him. This is what he feels, and this is what he's doing. So I guess it just all depends. Cause
that's kind of an interesting concept too, because like, so I don't know how much of my music you've heard, but I was just listening to the other day my last album. The
second
Be
one,
Nice
right?
Human.
Probably?
Yeah, okay, yeah, my second one that's like out on places where you find it.
Yeah.
And there was this song, Everything Broken, on there. And when I first started writing that song, it was me going, okay, like, so there was a person in my life that was like that was hurting me a lot, that I cared about a lot, and I was trying to put myself in their shoes. And I kind of was like, okay, why are they like this? And I just started to write it from their perspective. And as I finished it, I realized, like, this is actually about me too. It's actually how I am as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, maybe that's kind of where maybe it's kind of like that, finding connection with other humans, and it turns into something real too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Are you working on an album right now? When is that coming out? What's your plans moving forward with music?
Currently, I am working on a project. It's something I've been working on for like 3 years since I've dropped any project. What really sparked a good idea, and what goes back to the conversation we were just having, is that whole name change thing that happened. Mm-hmm. It's so easy now for someone with a lot of money to just get put on. Yeah. They just have to pay the right people. Oh, yeah. And they're there. And that's exactly what happened with that artist Ian that basically jacked my name. But
not basically, that's what
but
mad for you.
But my whole point in this album is I made a handful of songs that are kind of in that same lane as his, kind of in the same lane as what's popping off right now, like this hyper rage rap shit, like Playboy Cardi, stuff like that,
drill almost,
more heavy stuff. And then the last half is just going to be pure emotion, so that I hook people in with the first half, because it's like more industry type music, and then it's just to the second half, which is more of me. Nice. Who I am, who I want to be, what I want to make. So I'm just hoping that it goes kind of well. Not sure how it'll pan out, but I think it's a good concept, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think we all have to make those gambles, you know, and also realize that, like, even if we put something out there and it doesn't fucking hit right now, something else could hit later, and then that hits again later. Because that's one thing I learned from like TikTok and fucking YouTube and shit is like they're like, yo, you actually don't want to blow up right away. You want to have a catalog so that when people discover the shit that makes them like, ooh, they have a bunch of other shit to check out, and now you're their new favorite person.
Yeah.
Because they got to get to know you on a deep level. That's
the worst part about blowing up right away is that causes a lot of one-hit wonders.
Yes.
Because if someone has a song that absolutely explodes on TikTok and it's like one of their first releases, they have such a high bar that they set for themselves that they don't even know if they can achieve.
That kind of pressure gets to people.
Yeah.
A lot of people quit after the show. I mean, fuck. On a weird, different level, I had a whole TikTok channel that was just me like telling my journey of like, figuring out holy shit, all that weird shit in my past that I couldn't figure out why I was so weird. I'm autistic. I just didn't realize it. It got super big, super fast, scared the living shit out of me, and I just left. Still have 6,000 fucking followers, but I've also tried using that. Like I'm like, well, I'm also a musician. And they're like, we don't care. Give us more autism. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I feel like there's rare cases, though, where it works.
Yeah.
Like I said, for a specific example is probably like Kid Leroy, because he was just a kid. Obviously, his name's the Kid Leroy. He's just a kid in Australia making music on his grind. And then he made a song, absolutely exploded. And it was one of his first major label songs, so it just absolutely exploded. And then he just happened to be lucky enough to get Juice WRLD's eyes on him, and Juice WRLD put him on. And
damn!
Ever since then, I stand by the fact that the Kid Leroy never misses ever. Not a single song will I ever skip. It's so good, always.
Fuck yeah, those are rare to have. You know. I think the only ones that come close to that for me are like Greaves and Prof. And like, Prof fucking all his shit. He found that sweet spot, dude, where he's like, this is what the people want and also what I want to do too. Greaves, ironically, it's his more like industry sounding songs that like what it do. Like I liked it when it came out. Hate the fact that when I tell Spotify to play Greaves, that's what it plays and not fucking Breath of Air. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and artists be kind of all over the map. And Greaves even had a post recently where he said, like, man, I'm kind of going through a thing right now where I'm exploring where I'm at now, and you're going to see some of the old shit and some of the new shit and some shit that you didn't even see coming, and, like, this is just where I'm at, so hopefully you're down with it for me. And I love that for him, so I'm curious to see how it goes. But, yeah, I don't remember what got me on that tip. Fucking ADHD, bro.
It's like, here's topics, and you're just like...
Yeah.
That's how that brain does, though, man, you know? It's like, do you have, like, ADHD or anything like that? You suffer from...
Well, one of the reasons
normal. Why... Ew, get out of my house. I'm sorry.
One of the reasons I changed my name to Insomniac is because I get really bad insomnia. But another reason I changed it is because when I get really bad insomnia, I get the most creative. Because I'll sit there...
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I'll sit there and I'll be like, fuck, I can't sleep. Like, I really just can't sleep. And then, like, all of a sudden, my brain's just like, make a song, write something. And then I'll just get into a certain mindset and I'll just make some of the best work. But when I try during the daytime, when I'm like I'm feeling it, but I don't feel it as much when I'm in that mind state of like, I can't get no sleep. I need to
Hearing you say that actually makes me wonder, like, I wonder if that's the brain being like, no, we need to create. You know what I mean? Like, fuck no, we're not sleeping, we need to create. Because during the day, like, yeah, it is hard to fucking create. And I think it's because our brains are like, this is when we work and do all the shit we hate, you know? Like, so it's like, no, let's stay up. But I've been telling Jesse, I was like, dude, I've been struggling to sleep lately. And I'm like, why am I so damn creative? And I can't even fucking think straight to figure out what I need to do and don't need to do. But I can create some shit. Like, what's up with that? So, yeah. Have you always been an insomniac?
Yeah, pretty much. That's because I had seizures. I had childhood epilepsy.
Oh, shit, brother.
So my brain is, like, always, like, active all the time. So it's hard for me to sleep. And every time I take, like, melatonin or like sleeping pills, it makes me feel like shit when I wake up. So I don't do that. So I just naturally fall asleep if I miss work. fuck it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
fuck. That's rough, bro. I'm sorry, but also if it gets you doing what matters, then like, no, yeah, I feel you. I literally, my mom used to tell me, like, she was like, you would not fucking sleep as a baby, and even as an adult, I would talk to her about how I couldn't sleep, and she's like, you've always fucking been that way. You were like that when you were a teenager. You were like that when you were a baby.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I got diagnosed with bipolar, and they told me actually bipolar is your brain having little mini seizures. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, dude, that's crazy. So Ian is one of the only people in my entire life to actually listen to me when I said, hey, check out that new MC Light fucking album.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why in a minute, but let's see what he's got to say.
First of all, my favorite song is definitely King King with Queen Latifah.
Oh, really?
That is a really good song.
Okay.
I like the new piece of work, and I like MC Light really because you told me to check her out, but I'm really into her now because like I like women rappers who can spit. Like
Yes, brother.
Like,
fucking she killer.
like all these women rappers, like sexual women rappers, props to them, but like, do whatever you want. But all these women rappers who can spit, they can spit. They know what they're doing. Like,
Yeah, bro.
it's crazy. It's just crazy to me because people overlook it just because of the fact that they're a woman. But like,
Literally.
it's just insane.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I appreciate you checking that out. Sorry, what were you
Lotto
saying?
can spit hard, dude.
Lotto can spit too.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Another one that I know when she really wants to focus on rapping, Nikki can spit too.
Dude, we've
we
been
talked
having
about
that
that a lot,
conversation,
too.
dude. Well, and so it's really interesting that you bring that up too, because I found out today I seen a clip where like DJ played Starships while she was touring, and she fucking gave him a death glare, bro. And she smiles and starts to sing it, and she goes, no, I don't perform this song anymore. And fucking everyone's like, what the fuck? And in the comments, somebody explained, like, she was like, okay, cool, I got some success off of it, but it's also very pop leaning, and I want to solidify my spot as a rapper. And I'm like, all right, hell yeah, dude. Like,
Nikki's hard,
yeah,
bro.
she's a really good fucking rapper.
There's a certain, I don't know why.
Jesse says all the way back in the day, she was killing it, dude.
There was a certain one that really got me hyped recently. It's Red Ruby the Sleaze. When she dropped that before she dropped her new Pink Friday album, it was like she was spitting. She was spitting on the track.
I'll have to listen to that.
It's got a nasty beat too. It's so good.
Okay, fuck yeah.
It reminds me of one thing that never fails to succeed is when Nicki, Drake, and Wayne hop on a track together. It's always like a fucking banger. Always, every time. And Nicki always outperforms too.
I know, so the first time I actually looked at Nicki as like spitter, dude, was actually on Bedrock, dude. Like, her fucking...
Yeah.
Like, it was sexual as fuck, but it was a good fucking verse, dude. Like, she killed it.
You know what? One of my all-time favorite Nicki verses is on Bottoms Up. I think it's Trey Songz.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get that Tron? Can I get that Henny? Can I get that Margarita?
Margarita on the Rocks. Gonna get salt
rock,
water on that rim.
Right? Yeah, dude, the way she fucking spit that shit was like...
Bars.
dude.
My favorite Nicki verse of all time was during the pandemic. It was Wayne, Drake, and Nicki, and they made Seeing Green. That is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Wayne popped off. Drake obviously did his thing, and then
for me.
Nicki. That was the most lyrical I've ever heard Nicki ever. Is on Seeing Green. It was insane. I don't know.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna check that out, dude.
I used to play with the club a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My brain's being split in two different directions here. First of all, I want to say, like, we're starting a new thing. I haven't figured out a cool name for it. Maybe you can help me find a cool name for it. But every episode, I want to put out a playlist of picks. And any of the things that were mentioned in the episode, I want to put on there. And then just kind of like, fucking, this is what we're feeling right now. And so, all the things that we're mentioning, I want to make sure we put all those on the playlist. But you saying like the Lil Wayne Don't Miss thing like made me, it like took it back to the Kendrick album for me. Like where he was like, he said, what did he say?
He said, ironic how my hard work let Lil Wayne down.
Yeah, because he was like, he basically was like, I idolized that motherfucker, and he's like, fucking, it's ironic, man, because I worked so hard that, like...
I was going to ask you both, how do you feel about the Wayne Kendrick situation? Because, like, I have a certain state on it, but I wanted to hear, like, the opinions.
I don't think anything's going to come of it, honestly.
Is there more of a situation than Wayne saying he's upset and Kendrick being like, sorry, I did miss something?
There's some things building, right, kind of, I mean, like...
No, a little bit.
More just the internet speculating and be like, they don't want to hear that lighter flick, you know? I'm like, which is true, you know? The beginning of Wayne tracks that, you know? But it's like, he did respond. What did he say? He was like...
He tweeted out and he was like, what the fuck did I do? He was like tweaking. And I was just, my standpoint on it is Kendrick got the Super Bowl and... Wayne is one of his idols, so instead of Wayne playing it like, it's my hometown, I deserve it, Kendrick's been popping right now, and Wayne is one of his idols. I would have just done what normal artists do, and everyone brings someone on stage at the Super Bowl. Yeah. So why wouldn't Wayne just go to Kendrick and be like, I'm very proud of you, I would love to perform with you on here.
I mean, I couldn't see Kendrick being like, nah, you know? Like,
there's no way he
not to him, anyway. Like, that, there's definitely, like, probably a lot of people that Kendrick would be like, nah, to, because, like, he seems very difficult to impress as a person.
Yeah, there's no way he would have said no to Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's like, I don't like none of y'all motherfuckers. Like,
he was like, how it's plural.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
He said it used to be, fuck that one guy. Now it's plural.
And then he says, now it's plural, fuck everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Treasy was bringing that up, too, because he was like, man, like, he's like, I felt that shit because... I guess, like, just kind of fucking, he's just going through a time in his life right now where, like, everybody around him is just fucking him over and, like, fuck them all, you know, like.
That first track on that album is,
Blacked Out Murals?
It's a masterpiece, that first track. It's insane.
I like the album. I've listened to it twice.
I want to know what the situations that he blanked out were, dude. Like, he fucking he's just like, I'm just not gonna, because, like, did you notice too that like the one that said E was the one with like the N-words and stuff in it, and the other one was the clean one with everything cut out? Bro, I was like, what the fuck? So I like accidentally got that because I was like, oh yeah, that's the explicit. Oh, E is explicit, not everyone. I'm a fucking idiot, brother.
Yeah, that's why I was confused because I was playing it at work. And I just hear it blurring, and I was like, fuck, am I playing the clean version? Like, I want to hear everything.
I know, I checked both versions. I'm like, it's not on any of them. Like, what is he saying?
Out no matter what. I don't know if it's like, if it was...
I wonder if he had it on there, and his, like,
he's
lawyers were like,
label.
No.
He's on Taylor Swift's label. He's not even on TDE.
No, he's
not.
He reps TDE on the album, though.
Yeah, because he was, like, telling where he comes from and stuff like that.
Well, that's, like...
He was, like, talking about how, like, he knows Black Hippie didn't work because...
he went out on his own and,
Yeah, you know, and what he was like, I was being a shitface.
Yeah. Well, but he's also like, dude, I stand on my decisions, though. Because it got him where he's at now, and he was able to, like, put other people on because of it.
Yeah, from what I got, especially because of the whole Drake-Kendrick thing, Pop was, like, screwing Kendrick over, so Kendrick took a better deal. And him and Top are still close, but Pop really screwed him over for a while there.
That's wild, because he, like, kind of put them on, you know? Like, don't get me, like, I don't give a fuck. I love Schoolboy Q, dude. Like, I'm not no gangster. I didn't live no gangster life, but that motherfucker can spit, dude. I love him. And he's like, Q didn't even rap. He just learned from us. I'm like, shit, well, he did a good job. But what did you guys think of Reincarnated?
Reincarnated, it gave me Tupac vibes.
Yeah?
100% gave me Tupac vibes. Because it sounded like... It was a sample, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like almost the same beat. They remixed it a little.
Just the way he was spitting, too, with that, like, lower cadence. It was like, at one point, I was like, am I listening to Tupac or Kendrick? Like, what is this? And it was a good song, though. I loved it.
Yeah, like, conceptually, it was interesting to me because I was kind of at the, like, I was listening to it at work, so I was in this, like, space where it was just kind of a background thing for a second, and then he said, you know, he gets his fucking tone on, you know, and he says, I don't know how to make friends, I'm a lonely soul, and I was like, fuck, okay, I feel that, you know, and I was like, all right, I'm listening, you know, and then he talked about having that past life regression, and went on all the stories and shit, and I have all these feelings about it, because I did a past life regression once, and I got one story out of it, but I wasn't, you know, I just, like, was like, is this some hokey shit? I don't know, because, like, from what, like, it, you know, it doesn't tell you, like, names or nothing, it just, like, okay, you just kind of, like, see pictures of things happening, you know, and, like, it was like Van Gogh, dude, and I was like, I don't know about that. It seems awfully, you know, convenient that I would be a famous person in my fucking past life regression. I don't know, who knows? But
everybody's got to be a famous person, huh?
Right? You know, but also like, so, and I'm like, okay, well, what if though? But because I used to like really, really believe in reincarnation, like really, really, like fucking without a doubt. But ever since my mom passed, like, I'm not sure about all that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about the spirit world or fucking, like, synchronicities or the law of attraction or none of that magic bullshit, you know? Not that it's necessarily bullshit, I just, like, I don't know how I feel about it, you know? And so it was interesting to hear someone else, like, recount, like, tale after tale after tale. Mm-hmm. And it makes me wonder, like, either it's a very well-made piece of art, he has a very colorful imagination, or he did some deep, 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 deep work. Mm-hmm. You know?
Tupac?
No, brother.
Kendrick?
I keep asking you if you actually listened to the words of that song.
I did.
That he told stories of all his past lives after he said it. I had a past life regression last year and it fucked me up. And then he goes on to tell the stories of like 4 or 5 different lives that he lived before. Basically saying that in all of them, he was given power and didn't learn his lesson. Mm-hmm. You know, and God, I guess is what he's, like, portraying it as, like, asks him, like, hey, so, like, you ready to fucking learn your lesson now? And he's like, yeah, man, I vowed my whole life, like, which, you know, in the scheme of reincarnation, what does that even mean, you know? Like,
I was upset to see the Billboard rating on it, because they gave him the lowest rating he's ever gotten on a project.
Wow.
On GNX.
That's a fucking certified masterpiece, that album is.
And sure. I was like, there's no way it wasn't better than Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. It was a huge step up for me personally, because like Mr. Morale was a good project, but it just wasn't like worth the 4 years of no Kendrick. So
for me, like, I actually never really like felt Kendrick too hard until like this album. I was like, okay, I'm paying attention, you know, like I don't want to discount, like, he's a very super crazy talented artist. I put it in the terms of Bob Dylan songs. I love Bob Dylan songs. Hate Bob Dylan's fucking voice. Like, hate it. And you know, like Kendrick's like constant changing of his vocal structure, like, super creative, fucking awesome tool. Don't like the way it sounds. I don't like it. I'm not saying it's bad. Like,
yeah, I had a friend tell me that too. He's like, I just don't like Kendrick's voice. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I can see it, but like, that's part of the reason why he's so popular too, though. Because like, he's got a different, he can change his cadence up in an instant.
Which is like, it's crazy fucking talented. Like, yeah. I'm not discounting like the skill. Yeah.
It definitely seems hereditary because Baby Keem does the same thing.
Okay, so hey, who's Baby Keem to him?
Baby Keem is his cousin.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
That's why they made the song Family Ties together.
You know, Ice Cube and Del the Funky Homo Sapien are cousins.
I did know that, but I think you told me that. Yeah, isn't that fucking wild, dude?
That's
I love
crazy.
Del. I love Del.
Crazy.
Ice Cube is dope too, actually, but I love Del. He's got a fucking special place in my heart.
Crazy fucking, you know, family ties and rap, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if you just listen to the music, Baby Keem and Kendrick are like neck and neck with the same kind of cadence and
Check
vocals.
out.
And
So can you think of like song for song comparison?
I mean, just in general, if you want to hear the comparison on the song they did together, you can just
Family
hear
Ties.
how well they flow
Okay.
together. Because it's just like they're the same person practically. And there's also a song by Baby Keem. It's called 16. It's more of like a indie popish type vibe rather than a rap, which is weird because on the Melodic Blue, which was his album, really good album, it was just kind of random. It was just kind of thrown in there. But then I dove deeper into it, and Kendrick made the reference track for it and sent it to him. So it was kind of like you can hear the comparison there too. Just Kendrick can't sing as well as Baby Keem can.
Oh, okay.
So that's
So
why
was
he
like,
gave
I want
him
you
the
to,
song.
yeah. Well, and I would say that Kendrick is a pretty good singer anyways, like, because like even like he'll have I don't and maybe it's the SCA person, I don't know how to say it. I don't know.
SZA?
Yeah, there you go. All right, cool.
SZA?
Like he'll sing in between like her parts,
Oh,
you know.
I love SZA. She's a really talented singer, and one song I definitely recommend checking out. It'll make you float when her verse comes on. It's "Telekinesis" by Travis Scott and Future and SZA on his recent Utopia album. That is an incredible song. It's insane, and when SZA comes in, it's like you will freak out because it's so good. Like just her vocal range is insane.
Oh man, that's one that makes me jealous is fucking having a big range. I have to work so hard. Like it's funny because people will be like, "Oh, your like singing is so good," and I'm like, "Oh, you don't understand how many layers and like vocal effects go into that. Like if you heard one of those layers by itself, you'd be like, oh God, stop! Don't do that."
Is this a cat?
A lot of art is editing. Like some people don't have to do that as much, but I do.
I personally have to get tips, and it's funny because I get tips from artists that are younger than me on how to do harmonies. Because I have this R&B friend, Ice J, that I make music with, and he keeps texting me. He's like, "You need harmonies, and I was like, "Well, how do I do that?"
Yeah.
And he just like walks me through the process, and I'm like, "Okay, I see you." It's
That's
kind of
me,
funny
dude.
how you're
That's
17 and you're teaching me new stuff, but like,
Dude, it's crazy because like I do harmonies, but it's all just like by feel. I'm like, okay, I listen to it and then I kind of like try to sing alongside it and like, okay, that sounds like shit. Oh, okay, that sounds pretty good, you know, and like I'll just like play with it.
like I'll do that, but like it'll all just end up sounding like I'll just be singing the exact same thing over.
See, and I wonder sometimes if I sound like that. I don't know. I might or might not.
I don't know how to sing very well.
Well, yeah, but you know how to listen.
I'm all learning.
Yeah, he's working on that though.
God, it's fucking hard.
Like you have a beautiful voice though. Like that's one of the reasons too why I wanted to collab with you. Like and like maybe like you could do one like where you create the stuff and then I jump on, you know?
Yeah.
Because like dude, fucking. I think that you and I like if we could get it right.
Yeah.
Like our styles would meld well, especially knowing now that we're both choir kids.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. Oh, yeah, okay, shit. I forgot to put my part in with the MC Light album. So, like, Jesse was like, well, I didn't really like her earlier music. And I'm like, okay, well, but, like, I do feel like this new album is different in that, like, her earlier music, like, she was young. She was kind of making, like, I'm a sexy lady fucking music, you know? But, like, also, like, I'm a powerful lady, like... And now she's very woman. Listening to it from my perspective as a female artist who doesn't have a lot of idols felt a lot like having a hip-hop mom, you know? Because she's like, hey, like, here's some fucking tips, bro. Like, let me peep you on some game in this industry because I done been through it and been fucked over.
Alright, I'll listen to
this.
Shit.
Don't do this, you know what I mean? Like, and I keep hearing, own your masters. I need to look into that and see what the fuck that means. I know I'm a baby too. Like 10 years in, I'm still a baby.
Definitely.
But yeah.
I like how she refers back to her old past self in like Make a Livin', where she was like she comes in, she's like, what does she say? She says like, still a sexy lady, but I'm a boss. Like, she's, like, trying to say, like, I've turned into a boss now. Like, I'm her. Like,
yeah.
like, I was
Dude,
like,
well,
damn.
and, like, have you, like, seen her, like, physically?
Yeah.
Like, she's still so fucking beautiful. She really is, like, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But she has that, like, wisdom of a fucking mom.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, the whole time she was kind of just spitting about how, like, she used to be immature, she used to not know much, and now she knows a lot more than she used to, and this is how she wants to go about it. Mm-hmm. That's what really got to me on the whole project.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
She's a king now.
Yeah, well, and that was the thing that I loved about it the most was she took all of her losses and wins and, like, everything that she'd been through, and instead of just patting herself on the back, she said, you know what, I'm gonna give my knowledge to the younger people, and I'm also gonna, like, you know what, dude? Fuck yeah, you're putting the culture on. Like, I love that for you. You know what I mean? And, like, I just love her. Such a fantastic human and an amazing spitter. Like,
I also like the one with Ghostface on it. That was a good one.
Oh, yeah, that one was so good. I think that's, that, oh, yeah, the one where they're, like, rich bastards. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the one that's,
that one fucking
like,
killed me.
What's it called? It's like Light Ghost.
Yeah, it's just called, like, all their names.
Like, all their names, yeah.
Because she's like, look, motherfucker, I got the good people on this shit, dude. She's got, like, fucking 6 or 7, like, big names on there, dude. And that's what I was trying to tell people, too. I'm like, dude, like, it's a star-studded cast on this motherfucker. Like, you really don't want to miss it. And everybody's like, MC Light. She's old female rapper bullshit. I'm like, okay, cool.
Well,
like, miss out.
I looked into her discography, if I could say it right, and she hasn't dropped, like, a full, complete album since, like, a long time ago. She's just been doing singles ever since, like, 1997. So
yeah,
this
she was in on the single game before everyone else fucking did that shit.
That's fucking crazy.
Okay, like, yeah, dude, she came back just absolutely fucking killing shit, dude. Yeah, I seriously, I appreciate you so much for checking that shit out because I couldn't get anyone else to listen to it. And I'm like,
it's
you guys,
dope.
like,
It's dope.
But it really solidified that idea of, like, misogyny in hip hop is fucking deep, dude. Like, that shit's deep.
It's a crazy
and
thing.
it's interesting too because listening to her album on my, like, Spotify, and then I listened to my album, and my algorithm was like, oh, you like dope female spitters? Like, here's this, here's that, here's that, here's that, and, like, dude, sorry, I'm a wrap up soon on my shit, but I can't remember who it was because I didn't have time to write down, but she said, crow tastes no better than the words I never spoke. Like, eating crow, like, because you said something shit. She's like, say the shit, regret it. It's way better to say the shit that you regret than to regret the shit that you didn't say. And I'm like, fuck, that's such a bar, dude. Like,
and one of my favorite bars is off of Make a Livin' when she says, don't waste time, just breathe life in the moment.
Yes.
That's a really heavy-hitting bar because, like, don't waste your time. Like, just live in the moment. Just do whatever you can in the moment because if you waste your time, you lose it. Like,
dude, and it actually makes me think, too, of, like, your song, Don't Waste Time.
Yeah.
I fucking love that song, by the way, dude. Like, ugh. I can't wait to be able to, like, put that shit out to people, like, because I don't think people really understand, like, because, like, no offense, but the music that you showed me that you had on Spotify, it doesn't fucking touch the shit you're making.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it really doesn't. Like, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, cool, like, this kid makes music, it's cute, you know? And then you said, like, we got to talking hip-hop, and I was like, damn, this dude's got, like, a real love for hip-hop. And you started sending me your new shit, and I'm like, you're so good! Your shit gets caught in my head, or caught in my head, stuck in my head all the time.
Yeah, those songs that you showed me, the 3. It was like
yeah,
Matrix.
It was the most recent ones. Yeah, Matrix. The one that actually has Insomniac on it.
I was like, hey,
Chasing
brother.
Ghosts.
Chasing Ghosts, so good.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
seems to like that one.
So good, it's so good.
It sounds like super, like, I would say industry quality.
Yeah.
It was a very, like, conceptual song too, because I was just one night I was going through my Snapchat memories of my old friends that I don't talk to anymore because stuff happened that I just can't change. And I was just like, damn, Like, I just wonder where it all went, because, like, that's why I made that song. It's like, because I tried for a long time to get these people to come back and, like, apologize and make up and forgive and forget, and they just wouldn't. So that's why I said it's like I'm chasing ghosts. I'm chasing nothing, and I'm just wasting my time.
A lot of people would rather, like, feel right than fix shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really a shame, because life really is so fucking, like, you never know, man. You just, like, blink and somebody you love is dead, dude, and the last thing you did was be mad at them. Like, it's really not worth it. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone who's not here. This is coming out December 6th, but today it is the day before Thanksgiving that we're recording, so. So, alright.
Box time?
Yeah, was there anything that you wanted to bring up that we haven't gotten to? Like, honestly, you're so easy to talk to about hip-hop. We could fucking be here literally all fucking day. I told you, he's my favorite chatting hip-hop friend.
Shit that I didn't think about. I don't think
Bro,
about
yeah.
all that stuff, you know?
That's why when I quit Arby's, I was like, please, like, I don't want to be weird or nothing. Like, I know we have an age gap and shit, like, and I'm a girl and you're a boy, but, like, bro, like, we just talk hip-hop, and I need that shit in my life.
Did you guys hear, maybe it was, like, 3 weeks ago, did you hear Ice Cube's new track? Like, did anyone hear
what?
Ice Cube's new track? It's called It's My Ego. Is what it's called, yeah.
And it's got Busta and shit on there?
Yeah,
Shit. Hell
It's
yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I didn't even know.
Yep.
Just in general, because it's been a while now, what did you think of Eminem's album, The Death of Slim Shady? What did we think about that one?
Okay.
I liked it. I liked Fuel a lot, but I fuck with JID pretty hard.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, we talk about him a lot.
I do feel like he was kind of a look at me push these boundaries, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know, like, we know. Like, we know what you're capable of. Like, we just want to hear you.
So for me, like, okay, from like a listening to music standpoint, like, I didn't like it. But from an artistic standpoint, I got his concept, and I was like, alright, cool, like, because he's like, okay, well, what the fuck you want from me, you know what I mean, like, and like, he's like, you want me to be fucking offensive? Let's see how fucking offensive I can be, you know what I mean, and then he's also like, but look how fucking childish it is, I'm a grown-up, dude, like, and like, you know, that album was, like, respect him as an artist for making it. Still didn't really like it, though.
It was definitely more for the more tapped-in hip-hop fan base rather than just a casual listener. Yeah,
and I think a lot of casual listeners were either like, oh yeah, this dude, like, isn't afraid to say shit, or they were like, what the fuck, dude? Like, but I mean,
at least he put one song on there that he knew would tap in with the casual listener, which was Houdini. Houdini tapped in with everyone.
That really was so good, though.
I did love that track. I played a lot at work.
Oh, dude, I wanted to touch on samples, actually, because you were talking about how that sample hooked you, and you were like, what the fuck? So, like I said, like, none of the people at my work, like, really like hip-hop, which is fucking heartbreaking for me, but it is what it is. And I think it was Gravy Train, like one of the Young Gravy songs. Like, cause I've been listening to. I've just been listening to the old DJ Profile, because like mine's just it's very programmed for deep underground rap, and it's only like showing me a little bit of stuff right now, and it's making me crazy. So I went back to that so I could get like maybe a little more vibey take on that, and I think it's Gravy Train. But it had a sample on it. It was "It's Alright."
Yeah.
And like she started singing to it, and like it got into his part, and she goes, "Well, that's interesting." And I was like, "It's called a sample."
I will say, Young Gravy is one of the, like, his producers are some of the best samplers ever, because he makes some crazy. They make some crazy samples. They use some crazy samples. Like, they used Rick Astley's song to make Betty, or Get My song that was popping off. Like, he basically sampled Rick Roll. He made a whole song about it. It popped off. It was the best song on that album. But
I mean, that's a smart pop culture move, to be really honest, because, like, it's crazy to me that got...
Or when his first...
Shut the fuck up. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Do you want some tea?
Yeah.
Or
I'm sorry. That's our that's our level of humor.
Our love language.
If I sneeze more than twice, he's like, okay, that's enough.
Every time. Like, I've had enough.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, I think... I don't know what happened to me just now, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But anyways, even Young Gravy's first song that blew up was sampled Mr. Sandman.
Oh yeah,
that was,
Mr. Clean.
like,
That one fucking irritated me too, and I was like, I think it's because I love
Gravy
that
next
song.
year.
You think I could pull off Gravy?
Yeah. Glasses, you just put on a wig, like a wavy wig.
yeah.
Okay.
Did you see his new country album?
What?
Yeah, he dropped a whole new country album when, like, him and Post Malone dropped around the same time. They both dropped country
Oh
albums.
my goodness.
That's what's happening now, huh?
His country album is good. It's a good
That's
one.
very interesting because our
Yeah,
next
it's like-
guest episode is an artist who transitioned from rap to country.
Really?
Yeah, so that's real. It's an interesting synchronicity.
It's like a huge wave right
Yeah,
now. But
because
like,
Jelly Roll did that shit too.
but like, it's weird how it's flipping both ways. Cause like I've seen like people like Morgan Wallen do like more rap country songs now, instead of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, he's
that
on like a
old.
bunch of songs with Lil Durk.
Yeah, he has a bunch of stuff with Lil Durk, and then like all these rappers are going country. It's like it's all completely
Right,
flipping
everybody's
back
like,
and forth.
change
Like,
places. Like, I won't lie though, I hate country rap. Sorry. Like if
Me too.
if that's what you feel like making, that's cool for you. I don't
It's
wanna
just,
listen to it.
and back to what I said before about my mom, the reason it surprised me that I got her into rap is because when she was growing up, she was in a country band. So,
Oh,
like,
shit.
like her and her family, like, traveled all over the place. They were supposed to have a huge opening for a country artist, but her sister missed the plane, so they never got it. But
what if?
my mom's really, really talented in that aspect.
Yeah.
And I never liked country because on the way to like go to see my grandparents, it was just like country, country, country. And then whenever she'd play stuff like Train, I'd be
That's why
like,
Cloud doesn't like rap.
and whenever she would play stuff like Train or The Fray, I'd be like, finally, like this is music. This is what I want to listen to.
I remember you saying a lot about how even though your parents really weren't into rap, like they really instilled in you love of music.
Like my dad will listen to. My dad still doesn't like rap, but he'll listen to all my songs.
Aww.
And he always supports me because I always tell him I get my lyrical ability from him because like he was a poet. Like he has one of his poems was being taught here at the college for a while,
Wow.
and he's a really good writer. He has a lot of good stuff. And then my mom, I get the musical aspect kind of from her because she used to play the guitar, the bass. She knows how to sing. I get all that stuff from a mix of them. So
Wow.
That's dope.
Awesome.
I just went and got mine from Staples.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. That makes me so mad. So mad.
Is it a USB mic?
It is a USB mic.
Wild.
Doesn't that make you so mad?
Yeah.
Because you heard his music, bro. Like, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, man. You gotta come up in the struggle like us. Fucking making styrofoam studios
Well,
and finding out that styrofoam is not the answer.
It's crazy because there's also people out here making songs on their phone. Like,
Bro, I'm
like-
telling you, one of
like-
my friends uses, like, she was like, literally, oh yeah, I just use a gaming headset and put a blanket over my head. I was like, shut the fuck up right
yeah,
now.
like, and it's funny how some of these people aren't even like trying to blow up because, like, I don't know if you've heard of David, but like, he's a really huge indie artist right now, and he was actually kind of nerdy and funny enough, but he was actually like a professional gamer. And he just downloaded BandLab on his phone because he wanted to like make songs for his gaming edits, and then it just exploded. Like he made. Have you ever heard "Romantic Homicide"? Like, it's insane. He made that.
Maybe I did, but
He
I
made
don't
that on a
remember.
phone in a closet with Apple earbuds. Insane. And it's got millions of plays. Millions.
Wild.
My 10 years of frustration want to slap the shit out of all y'all. I am happy for you, though.
You bitter old motherfucker.
I'm both. I can be hateful and loving. You can be two things.
All right, do the box.
All right,
do the box. Do the box.
What's your favorite fun fact?
My favorite fun fact. Anything?
Yeah. Remember a couple things from last episode that I will address on this one.
Oh.
My hidden talent.
Oh, yeah?
I can whistle extremely loud.
Don't do it.
No, I'm not going to do it. But also I can throw things crazy high up in the air and catch them with my mouth.
He also can high kick, like high kick.
Really?
Yeah.
He's actually, projected to be a D1 track athlete for scholarship. Wow. Yeah, until COVID happened and I got it ripped away. So.
Well, shit. That means you'd be a great performer, though. You got the fucking lung power, bro. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know, Prof, have you ever seen Prof perform? You know Prof, right?
Yeah.
You found out about him because of Futuristic, right?
Well, because of you, but...
I mean, I do be putting my friends on some cool shit.
That was a dream, by the way, meeting Futuristic, because, man, I listened to him for years, man.
Did you see his post about Kendrick's album?
I did not.
It fucking cracked me up. I can't tell if he's trolling or what. He said, okay, Kendrick's album, obviously, it's really good. He's like, but I don't understand, and Big Sean did this on his last project too. I don't understand why you would call your wife or your lover a bitch. And I was like, don't tell me that you don't understand the concept of that song. Because then, immediately, dude, when he said, me and my bitch have a complicated relationship, I was like, oh, another song where rap is the woman, you know? Mm-hmm. And then he did it well. I was like, okay, all right, I'm not mad anymore. He did a good job.
Well, I think the only thing I don't understand about him is, he used to say shit like that all the time. I used to watch him on YouTube. He was a YouTube rapper for forever. Mm-hmm. So, he was one of my inspirations. And, he used to say shit like that all the time. And now that he's, props to him for going into this whole God era thing. He's finding himself through religion and stuff.
I can't even remember now.
Props to him, but he can't just, ignore the fact that he did the same thing. Mm-hmm. He used to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and the part that confuses me is, as a hip-hop artist, you really don't, you gotta be trolling, right? Tell me you're trolling right now, please. Say psych. Please say psych. Because, you can't not understand that he's talking about, his relationship with hip-hop. Yeah. You cannot think that song is about a woman.
Yeah.
Please tell me you're not that stupid. You know, or clueless, or whatever nice word you want to use. Because I was like, oh no, not Futuristic, bro. I hope that was a joke.
His new album, it's good, and I miss old Futuristic. When he would drop something, it would fucking go crazy. Everyone would be like, oh my god, this guy's the best spitter in the world. What the hell? His one-take videos that he used to do. One take, just go in the booth and record a YouTube video and just spit and destroy the mic. And then everyone's like, holy shit, what the fuck? And now he's just he's in his finding himself era. He's sober, which props to him for being sober. That's really huge accomplishment. But
do you think, it seems like a long time to play that game, but do you think that was him giving the masses what they want so that he could make the music that he wants to make?
Honestly, I think in a way, yes, but I saw him from the beginning when he was a little bit of a smaller rapper, rapping on Buff Nerd's channel. And he was just kind of one of those nerdy guys. He didn't really care. Like he said in most interviews, he didn't really do anything before. He wasn't doing substances. He wasn't drinking. He wasn't smoking. He was just...
So getting big, you think
he was
maybe
just,
the pressure got to him?
Well, like he said, I don't know. I know you guys were I don't know if you guys were there or not, but even on stage he said he didn't start smoking weed until he went on tour with Dizzy Wright.
Yeah, Dizzy Wright.
And Dizzy was like just getting him to smoke weed with him, and then that's when he got into weed. But if you look at his older stuff, he was just a nerd. Like, he was just a nerd spitting nerd shit. Like, that was all he wanted to do. And then now he's like, I think this era of him is... He started out doing what he wanted to do. He realized that he needed to conform to a certain way, work with other people, do certain contests and stuff to make sure that he got a platform.
Yeah.
And then now he's like recovering and finding himself a little bit more now. Like, he's trying to go back to where he was before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like you said, I respect that. Like, I was just talking to Jesse actually earlier about...
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, I never talked to him. Fuck that guy. Terrible conversationist. Just kidding. He's not got a camera and a mic in his face. He's much less nervous and very, very speaking a lot. Me too.
Was speaking a lot.
You know, yeah, you're doing great. I'm proud of you. But I was talking about artists that, like, their message I don't really necessarily agree with, but like their passion and their talent, it's there. And there was this guy, now I can't remember his name. The song's called Witchcraft Part 3. He's just talking about like social media and how it's like taking everybody over, and he's a Christian rapper and he goes very Christian, but like he also talks about, he's like, look, yeah, dude, like, I'm a Christian, but I also fuck up, and I'm gonna put my shit out there so that y'all don't go and find it later and act like I was trying to hide it. I'm a fucking human being. But he also goes on to a lot of like conspiracy shit and this and that and the other. I don't necessarily agree with everything he said, but I'm like, motherfucker spitting, dude. He has a passion for it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it just depends on the person. There's a few rappers, though, that I'm very kind of disappointed in, because I said, I love Futuristic for what he's done as far as inspiration, but like I'm just kind of disappointed now, because it's just the same, you know what I mean? It's just... I want him to go back, but I know he can't, because that's just a point he doesn't want to be at. And the same thing goes for Kyle.
Oh, Kyle.
Kyle, I was listening to Kyle when he was super duper Kyle, before he was just Kyle. And he was just making all this nerdy rap, and I was like, man, you can be a nerd and you can rap about what you want to rap about, and you can just be yourself, and you can get popular by doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden he made that song with Yachty and disappeared off the face of the earth. He's still releasing stuff, but it's like... It's
the I Spy?
It's like, yeah.
I did love that track, though. Like,
it's
man,
just...
fuck these kids.
His new stuff is good, and he made a song about his dad who passed, which was really good. That was a really good song. But it's just not the same. You can tell that he's just lost the love, I guess. I don't know what happened.
That fucking happens, dude. I don't know.
Made money and was like, fuck it.
I was saying, though, too, like that, like, it's hard because there's this duality, right, to everything. Like, you're talking about, like, oh, how you have to, like, kind of conform to, like, get out there and then make the stuff that you want, but also, like, this guy conformed and you wish he wouldn't have, because, like, who he was already really dope. Also, side note, Chris Webby is a huge fucking nerd and has never hid that shit and is very successful. Like, he has a fucking huge house out in the woods. Super cool. Shit! No!
There she goes. There, she.
Is she gone?
Was it a have it your cake and eat it too moment?
I was talking about the duality, but I can't remember what there was a point I was getting to.
Oh.
I fucking hate my brain, bro. Like, I'll be on these fucking tips and then it'll just go out the fucking window. Oh, man. That usually doesn't happen to me during podcasts.
I don't know. I guess there's just, like, a point I would get to is, like, I guess there's just certain instances.
Yeah.
Because, like, people can blow up from what they want to do. It's just all how seriously you take it.
Yeah.
It's just... And the industry way and the easy way to blow up now is just to jump on the wave and then do your own shit later. That's my point, but that doesn't mean you can't do your own thing and blow up still. Yeah. Like, it's still a possibility. It's just...
Well, and I think, like, okay, so here's the weird duality thing. Like, let's just say Tom McDonald. This is the topic, in case I lose it. Okay. He was such a good rapper with so much good feeling and fucking awesome shit. And then he figured out that bigotry is popular. and he made a bunch of bigoted, shitty songs, and that's what he's fucking doing now. And, like, yeah, he's got a lot of success in it. Also, the duality side of that for me is, yeah, like, there's these people who I like. For me, mostly in hip-hop, what it is the talent and the passion, right? Like, being good at it, fucking caring about it a lot. Also, though, fuck Tom McDonald all the way. 100%. Yeah, he's passionate, he's good at it. Still fuck him. You know what I mean? Because his message is so shitty and so hateful that he doesn't fall in that category for me, you know what I mean?
And I think also the business industry side of music is kind of fucked up too, because like you set an example, like when Nicki Minaj didn't want to play Starships, she made that song because her label practically made her make something like that, because it was like,
oh shit,
they
no
were
wonder
like,
she felt some type of way about it.
Like, she was practically forced to make
she was
this
musically
song. Yeah.
like, fuck,
And a lot of these
like
artists,
Kesha.
that's why I liked
I think she was literally
I love Kanye's whole crusade on the label shit, because as soon as Kanye dropped his label and he was getting his own money, he can do whatever the fuck he wants now, because like he's Kanye, and he made everyone realize that, because a lot of his old songs were shit he didn't really want to make. He just had to, because they needed something from him.
Yeah.
And that's why most of his later work was just weak as fuck, because he just didn't have the mindset for it. And now, like, all his new stuff, he's back to cussing again, which
Yeah, I haven't heard any new Kanye, to be honest. Like, I haven't heard much about him since everyone was like, that bitch crazy. Like,
his new stuff it's solid. He has he has 2 whole EPs with Ty Dolla $ign.
Oh, Vultures, right?
Yeah, the Vultures. He has Vultures 1, Vultures 2. Vultures 2 is kind of weak, but I really liked Vultures 1. I thought it was
what's
a really
up with,
good
like,
piece.
fucking albums coming out and the names of venues I just recently went to? That's fucking interesting. Oh, yeah, Vultures in Colorado Springs. Really cool, like, little intimate venue if you ever get a chance to go. It's fucking
Pretty
awesome.
fun. The bartenders are cool.
Just on a side note.
And the hot dogs was amazing. Time for show and tell?
Yeah, let's do show and tell.
New segment.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're gonna do a new segment, because you know what? We like to enjoy life. We want to get our fucking youth back. We demand it back, in fact. And we're gonna do show and tell. Sometimes it'll be musical, sometimes it'll just be like, "What, this little thing that makes me happy," and or has a story with it. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
I gotta reach for mine. It's this fancy Centennial $1 coin that was gifted to me today by my lovely partner, Califox. Califix?
Califix?
It is...
Not F-O-X, okay? It's F-A-W-K-E-S, because someone else's name is F-O-X.
Okay, and then so... well, we're gonna skim right past that. It's 1776 to 1976. It's got, I think, Dwight Eisenhower on it. And then...
I'm so sorry.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's good. Get out of me.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Woo!
Everything's fine. Everything's good.
Working.
It's all good.
Where was I?
We skimmed over Fox.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
What a day.
oh, no.
It's got the moon and the Liberty Bell on the back. I think that's...
A really cool guy tipped it to me for an ice cream cone.
It makes a cool noise.
It does make a really cool noise. I was playing with it earlier. It's like, that's fucking cool.
But that's my show and tell for this time.
Okay. I really want to do a musical one, but I just didn't have it with me at the moment. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Mine is Powdered Toast Man. He's a pup. He's fucking so cool. If you have ever seen Ren and Stimpy, you may know him. He's seen Ren and Stimpy, but he doesn't know him. But we're going to forgive him because he's... Are you 22 now, or are you still 21?
I'm 22.
Whoa.
Because he's 22 years old.
Crap.
I know! Doesn't it make you feel old?
No, just fascinated.
Oh. How so?
Because the age gap is fucking crazy. It's like 15 years. Almost.
Dude, that's why I was like, dude, like, I haven't interacted with younger people in a long time until I started working at Walmart and Arby's, and I was talking to Gage and Ian, and like, it was like the first time I got to have good fucking conversation about hip hop with anyone other than you and Treasy. Damn. And I was like, fucking what? Be talking about some of the same shit. I was like, you know, shit, what? Like,
14 years is a crazy age gap, dude.
Powdered Toast Man. He's cool.
That's it.
Okay.
And now...
So I have two. My first one is this signed Trippie Redd CD.
Oh, sick.
I was supposed to go to this concert, but I couldn't because I didn't have the money. But this is a really influential album, especially for what I'm making right now, because this is Trippie Redd's step into like the rage world, like Playboi Carti. He has a lot of very influential people on here, like he has Sofago, Lil Uzi, Playboi Carti, Ski Mask, Juice WRLD, X.
Oh, Jesse loves Ski Mask.
Lil Durk, Polo G. Like, this is after X and Juice were gone, too, so these were unreleased on her tracks. And this is, like, his step into, like, industry standard at the time, which was, like, Playboi Carti was really popping. Okay. And he was like, you know what? He was, like, a love artist, like Juice WRLD is, slow, steady stuff. And then he's like, you know what? Fuck it, I can do it, too. I'm gonna show you that I can do it too, and he made that, and it's a banger. The whole album is so
great. Cool. How'd you end up getting it signed if you didn't go?
It was just like a tour package thing you can order in case you just didn't get to go to the show.
Sick. That's fucking
cool.
So
I got like signed postered with that too.
That's fucking awesome.
Then I have my prized possession. Okay, this is an album from my favorite artist, Eden. And it's his No Future album from 2020, and inside I have a...
It's so crazy how vinyl came back. Fucking wild. It completely skipped my generation. Well, me.
Inside I actually have a signed poster from him, too.
Oh, cool.
And he is, like, one of my idols. He makes good music, like, great music. It's insane. He's from Ireland. He's been making music since he was, like, 15.
Wow.
And he has a really lot of popular songs, but if you listen to all of it, it's really raw stuff. He makes all of his beats. He's made a song on a plane before, which is insane.
That's fucking cool.
He's more of like a...
Sorry.
He's more of like
when they hear
he's more of like an indie-ish, slow pop kind of artist.
Okay.
I just really like him because his music helped me through a lot, so...
Fuck yeah, send me one of his songs to throw on the phone.
Yeah, his name is Eden, like the Garden of Eden.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I've heard some of his stuff before.
Yeah, he's a couple popular ones, and he knows how to play the guitar. He knows how to do everything. He does covers. He did a cover of Hey Ya by Outkast. He's done covers by, what is that song by Labyrinth? The one that's Jealous.
Everest? Oh.
Jealous by Labyrinth.
I don't know if I know that one or not.
He's done a lot. He's done one about, he's done a cover of I Can't Help Falling in Love.
Oh, wow.
That's a really good one.
Damn.
All of his music is good, no matter what you listen to. It's
that's the you growing up with your parents' era of music coming out too. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. I am so happy that we got to have all this conversation. Once your album comes out, just remind me and I'll add it to the end of this retroactively. Like, just so anybody who sees it in the future or anybody who's seeing this part now knows to come back and find your album.
Alright.
So
appreciate you coming on, dude, for sure.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you guys for joining us for episode 9 of Classy Broadcast. Be on the lookout for his album. It's going to be fucking great. I have had the privilege of being able to listen to a bunch of his new songs, and they're so good. Part of me is pretty jealous, especially of his production value. Like, sounds fucking great. Come back to you guys with Zach Morgan. You're fantastic. Keep it classy. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for giving us a space to voice our thoughts.
Thanks again for joining us for our 9th episode of Classy Broadcast. Check the information section on this video for links to all of our social media outlets, a link to check out United Masters distribution services, a link to our Classy Picks playlist for this episode, and keep checking back for a link to Insomniac's new album. Don't forget to leave any questions that you have in the comments so we can do a question and answer video in the future. And if you would like to hear us talk about something specific, don't be afraid to make a suggestion. Join us in future episodes for more engaging topics and intriguing guests. If you would like to be a guest on Classy Broadcast, leave a comment and we'll contact you about future episodes. Join us next time on Christmas Day with Zach Morgan, an artist from the hip-hop group Nuzu, who's changed lanes to country music. Thanks for joining in. See you next time.